Hey guys, welcome to another video. Welcome back to my channel. You guys, my name is the Lab Girl, and as you can tell by my throat and by the title of this video, this is a story time. I caught COVID, Omicron, Omarion. Your boy got me. As we speak right now, I am in quarantine day 10, so my voice can't carry and be as loud as I would love it to be with so much, enthusiasm that I try to bring to my channel. But today I just want to share my COVID experience with Omicron and just go over my symptoms, what I've been feeling these past 10 days, emotionally and physically, and how I am preparing myself to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into my story time of how I knew I had COVID. I want to come to you guys today because I wanted to share my experience of having COVID. It has been a challenging 10 days, and I just want to share some insight on how I dealt with COVID and how I'm still dealing with, getting over my symptoms and just getting my energy back, and some things that I, was reflecting on while I was sick. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload my Tahoe video before or after this video, but the weekend of Martin Luther King weekend, I had a trip coming up to Tahoe with some friends. Just like normal precaution, I tested before I went on my trip. I do have test kits available to me as being a healthcare professional, so I was able to get the test, make sure that I was good. Everyone in our group made sure that that we were responsible in getting a test as well. Got up to Tahoe, and everything was straight. The ride was beautiful, and everything was good. We were excited, ready to go. We get to Tahoe, and my friends were at the grocery store. They informed us that, hey, we probably need you guys to come to the store so we can go ahead and get everything we need for the weekend. Now, the reason why I'm putting the emphasis on the grocery store is because if you guys have traveled to any other states during this time, to other people, things may seem a little bit normal, but when you're living in the state of California, we have been in a bubble. I may be clearing my throat throughout this video, so please guys, just bear with me. Living in California, we have been in a bubble for the past 2 years, and some things are now starting to feel a little normal to us, where we are able to do more things without any restrictions. If you guys know, during the most difficult time of this pandemic, California was on lockdown first and the longest. It was just a blessing for me and those closest to me that we did not get sick during that time. I'm so thankful. Now fast forward, where we're trying to have some normalcy to our lives and still be able to travel and do things and still be around groups of people, and hopefully not getting sick. That's the new norm now, right? Not just wanting to stay in the house. You want to get out, you want to be with your friends, you want to be with people and your family responsibly. But sometimes little things can get away from you, and then you end up saying, damn, Omicron has got me. Disclaimer for those who are watching me and you don't know what I mean when I say Omarion, that is a nickname that if you know about B2K, or if you know about hip hop or R&B, or that's what we call Omarion. So probably for this video purposes, I will be saying Omarion, only because you guys know in the YouTube world, using the pandemic and all of that COVID, it can get your channel flagged, and so I'm not trying to really get flagged or anything like that. Mind you, we're now crossing over into Nevada. Nevada is sort of a lenient state, like the state that I live in too. The rules are less lenient, in my opinion, as far as like some things. Even when I go to North Carolina, going into the grocery store, when I'm in Florida, going into the grocery store, people don't want to wear a mask. And I know some rules are a little bit different in different states. When I walked into Riley's grocery store that evening after arriving to the cabin, it was literally an anxiety attack. No one had a mask on. And the people who had a mask on, like the cashiers and the workers in the grocery store, barely had their mask on. Masks were too small, barely covering their face. And we're talking about, it is the peak of Omicron everywhere, not just Nevada, but everywhere. I did read before I left to go to Tahoe that Tahoe numbers were pretty high, but the grocery store literally was a breeding ground for COVID, in my opinion. And also too, my friends feel the same way. It's just when you walk in the store, you're just looking around like, I need to hurry up and grocery shop and get the hell out of this store, because I feel like Omicron is just literally dancing all around the store. Literally, the person on the intercom had to make several announcements telling people, please wear your mask inside the store. Whenever you enter the store, someone would come on the intercom and make that announcement. So it's real if you have to come on the intercom and say, hey, put your mask on. Hey, put your mask on. Mind you, even the workers barely had their mask on. And everyone is probably used to coming in and out of the store without a mask. That should have been a red flag right there. Actually, it was a red flag. One of my friends, I think that evening, wasn't feeling their best. But once again, we are at an altitude of like 3,000 to 5,000 feet. And I've lived in a state with a high altitude before. I lived in Nevada. So, there can be altitude sickness, especially if you have not acclimated your body or you're not used to the altitude. Wasn't really too concerned about it, as far as, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe it is altitude sickness, or maybe it's allergies, because allergy season is among us as well. Just like cold, flu, everything is, any little sniffle, you just like, oh, what is it? And at that moment, it didn't really dawn on me that was literally like the start of something. So we continued to get through our whole weekend. My other friend didn't feel well, and then my other friend started to feel like a little down. This was like on the last night. Somewhat of social distancing, but I think what really did it is whenever we went on our snowmobile trip, we all rode in the same car. So we get to the last night and we're playing games, and I'm still trying to social distance myself, but still try to have a good time, because we're here to have a good time. But I know my friends are responsible. I knew they wasn't feeling well, but I was thinking like, okay, as long as I give myself some type of distance, then I should be okay. So Monday arrives and I'm feeling, okay. But my friends text me saying, hey, one of my other friends tested positive. She was like, you should get tested. I'm thinking like, okay, at this moment, I was not feeling any type of symptoms. I'm like, okay, sure. Like, I was going to get tested anyway, and then I was going to test myself throughout the whole week, because that's what I would normally do once I get back from being away or, out of town. I would normally test myself throughout the week. As soon as I woke up, I was feeling just fine. But as soon as I got to work, I immediately start to feel like fatigue. So I went ahead and swabbed myself, dropped it off at the station, and just talking to some people about what I did the weekend, and they're like, Shanika, you should be fine, you should be okay, you should be good, you had fun, da da da. I'm like, yeah, thinking to myself, well, did I let my guard down? Because I did have fun. Tuesday evening comes around and I am just drained, you guys. Like I am drained. I can barely do any of my stains at work. I'm talking about I'm spilling things. My equilibrium was off. I couldn't measure things. I started to measure things and not pH it. I had to write a gross description. I just had so many things to do, to the point to where like I really was just ready to go home. I was literally sitting there counting down the hours and the minutes till I could just go home, because I just wanted to get through the day. I wanted to go on my break and take a nap. Yeah, Wednesday morning come and I have a headache that I've never ever experienced before. So of course I let my job know I wasn't going to be in, and I'm still waiting for my COVID test. This was really the first time that I have been sick in over 3 years. First time ever too in our lab that employees had caught Omarion. So we went the whole pandemic fine, not at the main hospital, but just in our facility in histology. This is the first time where 3 to 4 people were out with Omarion. We could just tell this was just something that was just literally like going around, like it was going around like a common cold. Wednesday, I had the worst headache. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about symptoms. Day 1 was fatigue. Day 1 was fatigue and scratchy throat. So that Tuesday evening, I did have fatigue and my throat felt scratchy. It never hurt it just felt scratchy. Day 2, I had a headache, a migraine, so bad. I very rarely get migraines, you guys, and this migraine was a bitch. Like, it hurt so bad to where even if I was to lay my head on a pillow, it would be so tender to where it only felt okay if I just sat up. Like, even to lay my head back on the side, it just hurt right here in the crown of my head. It felt like I got hit by a truck, and it was like a pounding migraine. Tylenol wouldn't even take the migraine away. And then day 3 came, and that's when the cough began. Now, the way that the symptoms work is they come in stages. So whenever I got my cough, the migraine was gone, but I still had the fatigue, of course. But the cough is what set everything off. I got my cough on day 3. And once I got my cough on day 3, the cough was the one that really took me out. I decided on day 2 to go ahead and quarantine myself to the living room. Coughing all night long was day 3, and this cough lasted literally until day 9, which was yesterday. Let's go ahead and get into the treatment. Tylenol for the first 4 days. After that, you start to think, okay, Tylenol isn't working, like what else can I take? So I did buy some over-the-counter medication, some Alka-Seltzer cold. So I was like, okay, let me now go ahead and introduce some type of cough or cold medicine to help with this cough. At night, before I went to bed, I would take the Alka-Seltzer cold before bed. That way, I would think that I could be able to sleep at least throughout the night and not cough as much. That would be incorrect. It did not matter. Even if I took another set of Alka-Seltzer cold, I still coughed. The only thing that it did, it allowed me to cough myself so much to where I coughed myself to sleep, and then when I woke up, it would be like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. I never slept a full 8 hours of sleep. Around day 6 to 7, I started to get a habit of how I was going to go to sleep at night, which means that I was going to cut the TV off, not have anything that's going to distract me or keep me up. And I had Gatorade and I had 2 bottles of water, because at this moment I knew that only warm liquids will soothe my throat, along with tea, of course. And I knew that would help to soothe my throat. 7 to 8, when I started to incorporate some new things, that's when my cough started to break up to the point to where now I was having phlegm. So once I started to see that something was actually like coming up and the congestion was breaking up, I knew that we was at a breaking point to where, okay, now I can actually start to get this stuff out of me, because I'm just coughing and coughing and coughing, but nothing is coming up. No cough drops. Cough drops, I noticed when my cough started around day 3, it made my cough worse, because it wasn't like a normal cough or your throat's a little tingly. You know, a cough drop will help to soothe your throat, or maybe if you're getting a sore throat. If you have this virus, that cough drop would tickle your throat to the point to where it would irritate your throat. So I recommend no cough drops if you end up catching this virus. I'm a coffee drinker, so I started drinking more matcha green tea. So green tea would be like for breakfast. I would drink at least like 2 cups of tea. This is the lemon ginger and Manuka honey organic. It was maybe 2 to 3 different teas that we had for ginger tea. We also took a ginger and turmeric tea that was really, really good. And I did these nasal rinses. I normally do these anyway for allergy season. I don't have allergies really, really bad, but sometimes I can get like a little congestion. So I always have these. These are the nasal washes with the saline. It was more of just keeping that in rotation. Now let's go ahead and talk about testing real quick. Once I found out that I was positive, I was thinking like, man, oh man, like this is, I don't know what to expect. And you're not gonna know what to expect. And when you're not getting rest, how can you really heal and recover from something? Because sleep is when your body recovers from a lot of things. As far as tests, the guideline for my employment or place of employment is right here. So this is called the COVID-19 isolation protocol. These are the antigen tests right here. You could take these antigen tests if you feel like that, you know, you're not symptomatic anymore and you're ready to return back to work. I did take an antigen test on day 7 and it came back positive. So that meant that I was contagious and I could not return back to work. They give you 2. For isolation, I went ahead and decided to do a 10 full day isolation. And if you do 10 days, that's a full 10 days, and you could just test out. And on the 11th day, you can return back to work with no symptoms. It's only day 10 for me. I'm feeling better, the best I felt in the last 9 days. Another thing let's talk about is emotionally and physical toll that this virus has taken on my body. And then we'll go ahead and close this out. Physical toll first, which is obvious. You're gonna have fatigue. You're going to just be out of it. You're not gonna have any sense of what day it is. Your days, if you're just laying in the house and trying to quarantine, the first couple of days you are bored out of your mind because you're nervous, you're scared, you don't know what's happening to your body. You don't know if this is going to get worse, or maybe you're praying that you won't experience that many, you know, serious symptoms. And every day you can have a new symptom, so that is a little scary, if I'm quite honest. Took an emotional toll on me the first few days, but then after, you know, day 7, I was thinking to myself like, okay, if my cough is the only thing that is going to be remainder of this, I'm just praying that I don't have pneumonia or I don't develop pneumonia. And if cough is going to be what ends this, you know, the cycle of this virus, I want to make sure that I became a little bit more positive again and try to, you know, get more energy up, go out into the sun. I didn't even see the sun for probably like, I don't know, maybe like 6 days. I stayed in the house. I had natural sunlight like from my windows, but I didn't go outside and walk my dog. I didn't do anything that, you know, where the sun could be shining on me. Later in like day 8, day 9, I started to go outside and I started to sit in the sun for a few minutes, go walk the dog, go take a walk around the neighborhood, eat more, get out for a drive. I just started to do more things because I started to feel a lot better, and I wanted to see if I could get myself out of that mental funk. It was just a lot of quiet time. I got to binge watch, you know, a few of my favorite shows, because that's really all you could do. And I started to just enjoy the fact that, you know, in the next couple of days, I'm going to be better. And right now I'm going to take this time for my body to heal. And I just want to get better. And I just want to heal. I don't want to be sick anymore. I'm ready to get back to my normal self. A lot of people went through this virus alone or by themselves, or didn't even make it to even see the end of the virus. Just want to say that I'm so thankful that I'm feeling better today, and I am thankful that I'm going to be going back to work and getting back into the swing of things slowly but surely. And I just want to tell you guys that, you know, I've been away from YouTube because you know, I was not feeling my best, and I did not want to bring you guys any content. Well, I couldn't, but I just want to make sure that you guys know, you know, what was going on with me. And I don't wish this on my worst enemy. Just to let you guys know, I am back. Videos will be resuming very, very soon. Time to get my energy back and plan more content for you guys. And I want to tell you guys, thank you for subscribing to my channel and yeah, listening to my story time. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Bye, COVID.